Hey guys, it's Courtney from clickitupanotch.com, and I want to show you how to make a pinnable button with text on it in the Photoshop Elements for your blog so that people can pin it and it's more attractive on Pinterest and people will know exactly what your blog post is about and it'll drive tons of traffic. So the first thing you're going to do is come in here to File. We're going to open up a new one. You can pick if you want it in pixels or inches. Pixels are easier for me to understand because apparently I blog too much, and so I know how big certain pixels are, but inches sometimes confuse me. So I want it 500 wide and 300 tall height. So that's what I want. You can do any sizes you want. If you want it to be a square, make sure they're the same number. I just like rectangles. So the first thing I want to do is put my logo on there. And the reason for this is sometimes, links get broken or the button might accidentally not go to your site anymore. And I want people to see my logo and know exactly where it came from. Plus, maybe if they see my logo, they'll know it'll be this amazing post because, a girl can dream. So anyway, here's my logo. It's my daughter holding an umbrella. And then another thing I want to do, just to cover my bases, is put my website on the bottom. And like I said, I didn't always do that, but I've just started doing that more frequently, just to cover, so in case this gets lost and the link doesn't work anymore, that they can look it up on my website. So click over here on the T. It'll give you this square box. You'll just click it and drag as big as you want it. Then we're going to go up here to fonts. My personal choice is I like to keep the fonts and the colors the same as what are on my blog. You don't have to do that. I talked to my designer and she told me which two fonts she used as well as the colors she used so I could keep it all consistent. And plus that way when the button is in my post, it doesn't look out of place, at least for my blog. That's how I like to do it. You can do it however you want. So I'm going to pick the same font that my title is in, as well as the same color. Over here you can pick colors. If you know what color your blog is, and you have the numbers, you can go down here and just punch in those numbers. It'll get you the exact same color. I want to do my yellow. It's been saved in here. So I'm going to type in, click it up a notch. Help if I spelled it correctly, clickitupanotch.com. If you don't like the size of your font, you can highlight it, come up here to the font size, and we can make it a little bit bigger. So we'll make it a 12, and then I'm going to pull it down just a little. So now we have my umbrella girl and my and my website on there. So let's pretend this button is for the purpose of this video, if I was putting this on my website. So I would need to create another text box up here. I'm going to keep the same font that we've been using, but I want to change the color. So let's change it to green. And I'm going to say how to create. And I want to underline it to make it a little bit more noticeable. And in fact, I actually want to make it a little bit bigger. You can also bold it, underline it here. You can, if you want centered right, centered left. I'm going to make mine 18. See how that looks? That looks good. Actually, I want to drag it down just a little. And then I'm going to create another box because I'm going to change the text font. And I'm going to use the other one that my designer used. And I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. And I think I want to change the color to, let's try blue and see if that's easy to read. How to create, oops, I don't want to underline. Pinnable text image for Pinterest. Obviously that's too big, so I'm going to highlight it, go up here, pick up a smaller font, move it down a little. Ooh, that blue is kind of hard to read. I'm going to change it to pink. That's better. So you can, line it up however you want. You can write your words however you want. It's completely up to you how you want to write your text boxes and images. And one last thing I want to do is I want to put a border around it. So I'm going to go down here. Here are all the layers that we've been working with so far. So I'm going to click the background layer. I'm going to go up here to select all. You can see these little marching ants going around it. I'm sure there's a technical term for it. I was always told marching ants. It sounded good to me. So if you know what it's supposed to be, please feel free to tell me. And then I just go up here into edit, stroke outline section. And then you can pick how wide you want it, as well as the color. I wanted to do it in my blue, but my blue isn't saved right here, so we'll just go ahead and keep it the pink. Okay, and you can pick how wide you want it. Say okay. Oh, that's kind of wide. Let's go in here and adjust that. Let's say 15 or 6, 15. I don't know if that changed it. Undo. Okay, let's try it again. Sorry. 15. Okay, that's better. So there you go. Now we have an image that we have saved. That we created. Well, now I really want some blue in there. I'm just going to make that blue, even though it might not be super easy to read. Okay, so now these are all the colors of my blog, all the fonts of my blog. I like it. It looks good. So I'm going to, personally, I save it twice. I save it once as a PSD, because that way, if I realize later I have a spelling problem, a spelling mistake, which I sometimes do, or I don't like the way I did something, a couple hours later, I want to change it, I don't have to recreate the whole button. So, how to create pinable text image. Save wherever you want. Saves it as Photoshop. Yes, save. This way, that version I've saved so that I can come back and change it. And now I want to save a version for my blog. So I'm going to go into layers. I'm going to flatten the layers. See all these over here? Each one has its own layer. I want them all to be one. So flatten image. As you can see now, it's all one image. And I'm going to go up here into save as. And I'm going to pick JPEG because that's what I like to use on my blog. I'm going to keep the text box the same, save it in the same area, at least I do. Quality, okay. And there you go, you create it. So now you can go into your blog and upload it as if it's just an image. So I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks. Oh, one thing I want to show you real quick before I forget is obviously there's a lot more you can do over here, but sometimes I like to put a line in the middle to make something a little bit more obvious, kind of like I did that with a lens series I was doing. I wanted to make my site kind of stand out from that. So one thing you can do is in the line right here, there's also different shapes you can pick. I like the line. You can take it, drag it. Oops, it's not very straight, is it? And there you create a line. You can make it as big or as narrow as you want. I need to deselect just by pulling that. So if for whatever reason you want your, you want a line in there, you can do different shapes right here, a rectangle, circle, heart, custom shapes, anything you want. So there's a lot of options that Photoshop Elements has. There's a ton more you can do with it than I'm showing you. I just want to keep it pretty basic so that you can just create your own button pretty easily. So that took us about 9 minutes, but I was kind of slow because I was talking about it, but typically I can get one done in about 5 minutes or so. So once you get more used to it, you'll be able to do it a little faster, and then you'll have all these amazing images all over Pinterest with your words talking about your post. So hope that helps. Thanks.